Welcome in. Today we're talking about Mad Max, the one from 1979. One thing, and I actually never seen this movie before watching it, just this most recent time. One thing that I love about Mad Max, this Mad Max story, is the various movies in the series are episodic, really. There is not consistency. There isn't even an acknowledgement of needing consistency between what is actually going on throughout each of these stories. You can understand that you're definitely taking place in the same world, but you don't actually have to know how the Road Warrior is getting from the first movie to Road Warrior to Thunderdome to then Fury Road. There is kind of just a base level of mechanics that's working in this world that carries you from one movie to the next. And I think that that might be the thing that I like most about the first movie, that it is able to carry a story with the same level of visionary exuberance and power and energy that you even see in Fury Road, although you put one up against the other, and they're very clearly two massively different scales of movie. And watching the first movie, and I've seen Fury Road. Fury Road's the first time I saw anything Mad Max, and then I went back just recently to Mad Max, then went through the next two movies that come afterwards. And in watching those, I was reminded about what Danny Boyle talks a lot in terms of movies, the point of movies, the type of people that make movies that last for a very, very long time. And it's people who are able to create well-told stories that are matched with a distinct kind of energy. And that energy is told with a very distinct type of visual style. And he talks about this with things like Apocalypse Now, and you can very much see it in the types of movies that he makes. And I think that there is a case that you could make where movies that have very simple plots, take things with very simple plots, things like Run Lola Run, The Raid, Snatch, Gravity, Blair Witch Project, 127 Hours. Some of the most exciting, long-lasting, powerful movies have very, very simple stories, and I think Mad Max is one of those, but they actually stand the test of time because the way that they tell those stories utilizes the actual technical tools of filmmaking, and it turns it all the way up to 11, and the style is really the thing that's carrying you through the movie. It's kind of the discussion of style over substance, and it is obviously very, very easy. I think someone like Gaspar Noé rides that line a lot and enjoys writing that line of maybe something is so stylistic and the substance is just so flatlining that you get bored after a while, no matter how exciting the technical aspect is. But I think that just because you have a simple story doesn't make it any less important than if you were to have, something like a Christopher Nolan movie. And I think it's upsetting that whenever movies get awards, whenever things get praised, they don't get movies like this don't get praised. Things like Gravity, things like 127 Hours, things like Snatch, things like Mad Max. There's always like an acknowledgement by people that matter. If you want to look at the Oscars, award shows, things like that, sure, maybe you'll get a nomination, but things like that don't ever cross the finish line in terms of getting respect. But those are the types of things like Mad Max are the types of things that simple story told with the highest level of proficiency whenever it comes to the technical aspects of filmmaking. And it's not style over substance. It's just understanding like how far you can push the medium. And Mad Max does that so well. And I wish, first of all, it's great that Mad Max is able to do this because it's not based on an original IP, and I don't have the contempt for IP that I think a lot of people do nowadays. But it's exciting to see something that is wholly original, that is able to birth and grow its own franchise, and to do that with something where the story, you don't have to rely fully on the story to actually carry it across the finish line. I think that's one of the things that makes Mad Max really, really good. It establishes a very strange world. It doesn't go out of its way to explain exactly what happened to destroy the world. You just know that it happened. In the world, especially even in the first movie, the way that you have like the police chief, or the way that you see Mad Max transform, or the way that you see people like the Knight Rider or Toe Cutter coming into town, and you don't understand exactly what it is that's causing all of these problems, but you can see it in the outfits. You can see it in the acting. You can see it in the way that the mayor of the town has this kind of strange theater type of life, costume type of way that they're living there, like they're like the king of some type of strange fairy tale world or something like that. But it doesn't go out of its way to explain it to you. I think that's the exciting thing about a series like Mad Max, and I wish that Hollywood did what it did with something like Mad Max, which was you get something with a simple story, but you can tell that there's a risky vision behind it. And the exciting thing about the Mad Max series is it has that vision which keeps the consistency throughout everything, but you can see that Hollywood did what it does best in investing in something that's a little bit risky like that, because you go to things like Road Warrior and the budget is ramped up, and it's not necessarily a better movie, but it's just a better example of being able to push stories like this as far as they possibly can. And then, of course, you see that even more in Thunderdome. And then something like Fury Road is almost a miracle that it was able to pull off something like that. So with the Mad Max series, there's something exciting about the simplicity and the consistency of going from one movie and seeing it get more and more complex, but still keeping that simplicity, which I think is very exciting. And it all started with that first Mad Max. And I feel like we should do more of that, and we should have more of taking things like small indie movies that want to be genre movies and then just inflate them with larger budgets. I think that'd be an awesome investment. I think Mad Max did it brilliantly. So what are your thoughts? What do you think of Mad Max? What do you think of the series of Mad Max? I know people kind of drop off in the middle there. And do you think that the series is going to continue with the same type of excitement, or do you think it's going to become overbloated with the new Furiosa edition? I hear that book that just came out is supposed to be really, really good. What is it? Steel, Chrome, and Sweat. I forget the name of it, but apparently it's really incredible. Leave your thoughts on Mad Max in the comments. And if you have not done so already, please subscribe to 5 Minute Critic for future updates on reviews and movie news.